That's loud. Really? Oh my God. Are you done?
I don't wanna talk or to listen. Diamonds on me drip, I'm a wishing well. Don't know what you seen in me, girl. You was my all, you believed in me, girl. First that we spent was so real to me, girl. Next time I promise to give you the world. Diamonds be shining, you dripping in pearls. Girl, I ain't lying, you know you my world. Girl, I can't pass up on my love. Addicted to you like a drug.
Hey guys, so in today's video, I am wanting to update you guys on everything that has been going on since my last pregnancy update. I feel like so much has happened, but in reality, it's just, I guess, a few things. The last update I did was at 27 weeks whenever I was entering the third trimester. I'm now 31 weeks right now, so I'm gonna do a 30-week update. Starting out with doctor's appointments. In my last update, I think I mentioned that I had low iron and that we were discussing doing an iron transfusion. Since then, I went to the specialist and they discussed with me like the anemia that I was and the low iron and all of that, and decided that it was best for me to do an iron infusion. And they also went over like the risks of everything, and that the safest, that there was one specific iron infusion that I could get that was safe, relatively safe during pregnancy, and that they recommended since I was pregnant. So we scheduled that for the following week, and I was gonna have 3 of them, one every single Wednesday for 3 weeks. He also discussed with me that after looking at my blood work, that my vitamin B12 was really low. I don't know if you guys know this, I mentioned it in my previous videos, but I do eat a plant-based diet and a mostly vegan diet. So I figured that probably had a lot to do with my B12 being low. But as far as like vitamins and supplements that I was taking, I do have issues with like absorption and stuff. So anyway, we discussed that, and he said that he would look into prescribing me B12 in shots as well if I needed them. So they called me after I left that appointment and said that my B12 was extremely low, and he had said that it was the lowest that he had ever seen and was low enough that it could cause nerve damage. So he prescribed me weekly B12 shots for the next, I believe, 8 weeks. And then after that, I'll be on B12 shots every month. After that, I didn't get a call about the B12 shots until it was like time for me to be there that Wednesday for my first infusion. And so they said they would just give me the first B12 shot at my first infusion. And then after that, they would show me how to give the shot to myself. Now, I have been told that I had to give myself shots before. They were Lovenox shots after I had a car accident, which is a blood thinner, and I was terrified. I don't mind anybody else giving me a shot if I need it, but I don't want to stab myself with a shot. I don't like it. I would do it if I absolutely had to, but I hate it. He's in there dropping stuff in the shower. Anyway, but I just don't want to give myself a shot. So I told Jordan he was gonna have to give me my shots, and since then he has given me one of those shots, and then I get another one tomorrow. And so we're doing that. I actually have some video clips of him giving me the first shot. We were both pretty nervous. He was like freaking out, which made me in turn kind of nervous. So that was kind of funny.
You don't even have gloves.
You're supposed to glove me. You're the nurse.
I'm not the nurse, I'm the patient.
You're supposed to put gloves on. Oh, you have to be nurse and patient.
I assume this cap comes off.
No, you do it.
No.
Oh.
No, I want to do that.
Holy shit.
You said it'd be about 1. It's at 1.
So there's no air in it.
Nope. All done.
So So anyway, back to those appointments. Whenever I came that following Wednesday for my first infusion, they discussed with me like that I had to get them at basically at a cancer hospital where they give people chemo. It's the same places that they do chemo infusions. So I went in there, and you sit in like this recliner and they get you all set up, and it takes like 2.5 hours for the infusion to be complete from start to finish. And they prepared me for if I felt any kind of allergic reaction whatsoever, to let them know, any shortness of breath or like breaking out, anything like that. They said it would happen within the first 30 minutes or so, and they could stop the infusion and give me medication to reverse the, I guess, allergic reaction or whatever. So I did the first infusion, got the first B12 shot, and when they were doing the infusion, everything was going well. I didn't feel any kind of issues or anything like that. After the infusion was over with, they went ahead and like took out the IV and told me I could get my stuff and I could like go ahead and leave, but to stop by the pharmacy inside the hospital for the extra B12 shots. As I walked out of there, I went to the pharmacy and I got my B12 shots, and like as I was leaving to go to my car, I noticed that like my foot and my ankle and stuff was like kind of burning and itching, and I didn't really know why, but I didn't think anything of it. And it had been 2.5 hours since they started the infusion, so if I was having an allergic reaction, it would have already happened from what they told me. So I walk out to my car, I get in my car, and I'm getting ready to drive off, and I notice I still have like this burning, itching kind of feeling just at like my ankle, and I even looked at it and there was nothing there. So after that, anyway, as I was driving home and I like got closer to the house, it had probably been like 20 minutes, 30 minutes since the infusion had ended. My foot and legs were like on fire. They were like burning and stinging, and I didn't know why. And I started feeling like by the time I got into the house that my feet were like swelling. So by the time I got into the house, I'm like kicking off my shoes and trying to see what's going on. And I go into the room and I had leggings on, and I pulled like my leggings down, and my legs were swollen and had hives all down them. They were like red and white and like a purplish color, like it was really scary. So I remember telling Josiah, my son, that to get Jordan for me, and he was like, Jordan said hold on, and I remember telling him it might be an emergency, and I just hear Josiah screaming at Jordan, it's an emergency. So Jordan came running in there. I had already been calling the hospital and that I just got my infusion at, which was closed at that point, so I had to talk to the on-call like nurse people, and she was like, the doctor's gonna call you right back. Jordan walked in there, looks at it, and is like, call the doctor right now, which I was already on the phone with them. They called back and asked if I had any difficulty breathing or anything like that, which I hadn't. So since I wasn't having difficulty breathing and no swelling along my face, it was just this arm where the infusion was like put in, and then both of my legs, which I have pictures of. But since I wasn't having difficulty breathing or anything like that, they said that I was fine to just take Benadryl or Hepsid. If it didn't go away, then go to the hospital. After that, they called me back first thing the next morning, and the doctor had canceled my further infusions and wanted to see me the following Wednesday to go over everything that had happened, because it didn't go well. So that next Wednesday, I went to that appointment. He did tell me again that my B12 was extremely low and make sure not to miss my shots, because it was at the point where it could cause nerve damage, and that he was really concerned about it. And then I showed him the reaction that I had to the infusion. They said that was the worst reaction that they had really seen to that infusion since they had ever given it. But he also discussed, and that infusion was called Benifer, that iron infusion, which I am allergic to and I'm told not to ever take again.
What's up, people?
How was my allergic reaction? Was it scary?
Yeah, I was terrified. That didn't make no sense.
It looked terrible. After the Benifer, he discussed with me a different type of infusion called Infed, and said that basically the only reason it wasn't suggested first was because that Benifer was the only one that's considered a Class B drug while pregnant, and Infed is considered a Class C, which means it's not like, I guess, considered a safe drug to take while you're pregnant. So they said basically it's one that you have to like kind of outweigh the risks versus the benefits of it. So he told me that if I didn't get the infusion, that I was risking getting becoming like more of a high risk delivery and risking having to get an emergency blood transfusion at delivery. And if I got it, that they couldn't really tell me if it could cause any issues with the pregnancy at all. But they said that he did say that there was studies done on pregnant women, just not a whole lot of them, and there wasn't anything linked to it saying that it's dangerous to the fetus or to me during pregnancy. But there wasn't enough testing done for the FDA to approve it as a Class B. So it was basically my choice on whether I got the infusion or not. The risk of bleeding to death in delivery didn't really sound like a great option, but I also didn't want to have another allergic reaction, so I kind of discussed with him like what happens if I have an allergic reaction. They said with this one that they give you a shot of it over a 5-minute period and then watch you for 15 to 20 minutes to make sure that you're not having a reaction, and then they hang the bag of medicine or the iron infusion, and you do that over a 60-minute period after that. Now, he didn't tell me that your risk for like dying from anaphylactic shock from that medicine was so high. I didn't realize that until I looked it up as I was getting it, which was kind of scary, but I went ahead and agreed to it. And they did the 5-minute one, and they waited for like 20 to 25 minutes, I want to say, before hanging the other one. And then I did that one for 60 minutes and I had no reaction. The only thing that I will say that is I got really thirsty afterwards and like my tongue turned white for a little while. And I didn't really have any allergic reaction. I didn't have any hives, or my skin wasn't on fire from this one, which was a plus. And the plus from this one also is that I only had to get one of them. I don't have to go back every week like I was having to with the other one. So I don't have to go back for them to even test my iron for another iron infusion for 6 months, which is like my next appointment's not until August. So I went to my next OB appointment after that. They measured my stomach, they checked the heartbeat, and he's very difficult to get his heartbeat like the average of his heartbeat because he moves around a whole lot. But everything with that checked out and everything was fine with that appointment. They didn't have any other issues. I have been having a lot of heartburn, and Tums does not do anything. So they told me the next thing that I could take was Pepcid AC. Any other symptoms that I've been having a lot of Braxton Hicks contractions. Quite a lot of them. Other than that, things have been going well. I haven't really had any major issues or anything like that. And I'm just waiting for, I think the next thing that I'm super excited about is for us to get our next sonogram, which is at 36 weeks.
36?
Yes, and I'm super excited for that. I have a baby shower that's coming up soon at the end of this month, which will be fun, and we'll probably record. So I'll give a hint on the name this time, since we still haven't done our name reveal. Between the first and the middle name, one of them ends in an L, and one of them begins with an L, but we're not saying which one. That's the only hint that you guys get. So if you guys want to take a guess, then you can leave it in the comments down below on what you think that the name is, or you can go onto our social media on Instagram and take a guess for the name there when we post that this has gone live on one of those posts. Then you guys can take a guess on there, and that would be fun. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's going on. Here's the bump. It's gotten huge.
Where's the shirt at?
Oh my God, it's low. There's my belly. It's grown. There's the baby bump. We're gonna go ahead and close this off, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon with a bunch of other videos, and we will eventually get this stuff ordered for the name reveal, and we are sorry for making you guys wait. If you guys enjoyed this video, then give us a thumbs up and leave a comment down below what you think that the baby's name is. If you already know, then don't leave a comment, obviously, because there is a couple of people in the family that do know. And yeah, so we'll see you guys in our next video.
Hit the subscribe button.
Subscribe if you're not subscribed already.
Bye.
We'll see you guys in our next video. Bye.